Fiucci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi.
I like that intro.
All right, there you go.
You know, it's first of all, I feel like this is an out of body experience. We haven't been here. For those of you watching, you don't change your dial. Would they be changing a dial? This is the Steve Squared Show, and it's not from a remote location.
No.
It's not from Steve's car.
No.
It's not from Chick-fil-A.
I never did the show from Chick-fil-A.
No?
No, I wouldn't do the show from Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Free advertising for them.
What did they get? I learned something about Chick-fil-A that's horrible. So,
Here
in
we
the
go, right off the bat.
So
Steve gets right out of the gate.
when you go through the drive,
no bunt, nothing. Just goes for the fences.
So when you go through the drive-through, they got people outside taking your orders with iPads, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the weather is. So, but in the winter, you cannot wear your winter jacket that you would wear every day to work or anytime. You have to wear a Chick-fil-A jacket purchased on your dollar from Chick-fil-A. And I found out these winter coats cost $80. What a freaking racket is that?
So that's what you have to do. You have to start your own boycott against. I mean, there's going to be limited amount of spaces for you to go to because every place has a problem. Nobody runs a good place.
No, exactly.
You can find something wrong with everybody. Don't worry about Chick-fil-A. I don't even go there anyway.
No,
Our
it's just.
listeners
I
don't
mean,
eat at
it's just.
Chick-fil-A.
Actually, it had nothing to do with canceling a boycott. That's just typical.
That's wrong.
Typical
Corporate
crappy
crap.
corporate behavior.
It's like here, making us inhale those fumes when we're doing the show. I'm like high as a kite right now. For those of you watching and can't smell the show, that's one aspect we don't have about the Steve Square Show. You don't get the smell when you're watching at home.
There's a lot of you stink jokes, but I will refrain.
And that is for those of you tuning in.
Classy,
That is
Tony. There you
that
go.
is classy.
Keep it classy.
That's classy,
That's it.
Tony.
Yeah.
Keep it classy, Levittown.
Yeah, sure.
Lesbian and
Did you call him a lesbian?
Well, yeah, I'm a lesbian. I love women.
Oh, good for you.
To your point, we actually talked about it this morning on my show. The Microsoft They announced, I think it was last week, that they're laying off 10,000 people.
Yep.
The night before, 50 of their head muckety mucks had a private party with Sting performing at their private party.
Of course.
So they spent easily millions on that, and then laid off 10,000 people the very next day.
Of course.
And you know what? That doesn't look. The optics, not just on Microsoft or Bill Gates, but the optics on Sting. Really, Sting? You have so much money. That's just like, no, I really wouldn't want to do that.
Did he at least do da da da? That's all I want to say to you.
And he probably got paid $3 million for that, probably for that one night.
For each do $3 million, do the next another $3.
You know what? He's making bucks. I like that opening number you played, Tony. Do you? What number is that? I might use that on my playlist to run to.
It says on
Like
my
Son of Van Halen or something.
It was very good.
All right, let's go with that.
right.
I don't know. It's just a number on here.
So-
It doesn't even show a title. I don't know. Usually the titles are here, but some of this was preset before I was here. Some of it I've done, but that was something that was here. I have no idea what it is.
Had a nice.
I think I see the name of it. It says, "We're not going to YouTube jail." That's the name of that song.
Yes. Now it's very exciting to not only be back in the studio, but Tony, we haven't seen you in a bit.
Yeah.
So, happy holidays. We haven't
Same
seen
to
you
you
since
We
the
haven't
guys.
seen you
holidays.
since the fall when
it-
your body was taken over by Farmer Willie.
Yes. We want. I mean, I know we haven't been here. Your kids are now graduated college and married.
Yeah,
And-
18 grandchildren.
18.
Yeah.
It's been some time.
I grew a leg back.
That's fantastic.
There you go.
Yeah, it's been what?
I think-
October?
I was around there. I think
must
it was.
be
I think
about
that the
there.
Halloweenish.
Wow.
I mean, but the studio looks beautiful, clean.
As always.
It looks.
Well
I feel
lit.
like well lit, right? I feel like I'm in the dentist chair. I feel like I can do a cleaning while I'm doing the show. Do you have one of those
Give it a better-
suckers? Those. But yeah, so that's always fun. But I wanted to say real quick, and just to take a moment, and I was telling this to Steve in the car. We had a bit of a really bit of a tough weekend and past week. My sister's family's dog, and I talk about her on the show a lot, Bailey.
A lot.
Steve knows Bailey. We always
Very
mention
sweet.
Bailey. And she had been sick for a while, and she passed away this past week. And it was really tough. I mean, she's, an enormous part. She's an enormous part of the family. And I always, I talk about Bailey a lot on the show.
You do.
And so we want, it's hard because then you're like, you get torn if you ever want to have a pet because it's so hard that you get so connected but you have to think of like all the happy enjoyment
seriously,
that Bailey
it's,
gave us
you
into
know
the
what?
family. And I got lucky because I didn't have a pet growing up. I didn't have a dog or a pet. And because my mom and family went through that. They had, before I was born,
Right.
they had a dog and it was sick. And my mom didn't want to ever go through that again. So I got lucky when my sister's family got Bailey, and I was kind of got in on having, because I'm always there and I'm very close with my sister and her family, and
Sure.
I got to be a part of Bailey. Every time they went on vacation, I was the watcher of Bailey. And
Did Bailey like you?
come on, Steve.
I know it's a
That's
silly.
not.
I know it's a
that's-
silly.
I mean, that's.
I know it's a
that's-
silly question.
Of course. I mean, and I have to say to both of you, to both of you's dismay, she was a Yankee fan, a proud Yankee fan.
I was feeling bad for you,
I know.
and now it's done.
Oh, I have to say, because we watched many a Yankee game together, and but.
So what did Bailey? Well, I mean, what did Bailey do when you were taking care of Bailey? What would Bailey like to do?
I mean,
did
I'll
she
tell
like
you
to
what.
play?
Yeah, we would go on. We did late night walks. She liked a midnight walk. We would go
Really?
late at night for a walk, and we would do that.
You go walking after midnight.
Yes, I know.
There you go.
Very Patsy Cline of you.
There you go.
Steve always throws his Patsy Cline. It's
Your
so
old country.
It's so
I know
hard
you
to
love the
throw a
old
Patsy
country.
Cline reference in our show, but
Steve
finds a
appreciates
way.
the old country
oh,
songs.
sure. And my mom will appreciate that. Me and my mom are the only two that got that joke, and the only two that listen to the show. So that actually works.
Hey, speaking of the Yankees.
But wait, before you
Okay.
get to the Yanks, just
Okay,
one
we'll go
more.
down.
I'm going to give you one more tidbit.
Sure.
On that, I'll tell you how smart Bailey was. I was watching Bailey once, and it was early in the morning, and you'll remember this because I said it on the show. This was a long time ago, a few years ago. She started barking crazy, and Bailey, she was 13 and a half years old. I think I heard her bark. This was the only time she ever barked. She has a Labradoodle, beautiful, white, gorgeous, and she barked incessantly. And I said, Bailey, what's going on? Just go back to sleep. It was early in the morning, like
Right.
6:45. And then when I went out later to leave, my car had a boot on it. And she knew somebody was fiddling with. Now I won't get into the part why my car had a boot on it. Let's leave the story nice like that.
We don't
And
wanna-
I won't get into the second half of why they booted my car.
We don't want to get, and we don't
No,
want to
because
get to,
that I don't know what legal people are watching and what DMV or
Too bad she didn't bark when you had a payment due.
right. So
should have let her loose.
it was just
Kill!
so but she was so smart to know
Yeah.
that someone shouldn't have been out there.
Yes.
But remember, I think I told you about that years ago. Remember, I said I got a boot
I
on
do
my
remember-
car.
I do remember that
and stuff
story.
like that. It was from some stupid thing. They had this thing. Do you guys remember that when they started booting? It was like a real boot
Oh,
thing.
they
that
just
did. It
go.
was like
They got.
It was
people
like
going
they did that
around
for a
there
couple of months.
just scanning cars, and if
Right.
they're there, do you know where I got my car booted? Outside of in Levittown, outside the movie theater. I came out of the movies
Wow.
one night and it was booted.
Oh my God! I know this was right in front of my sister's home, and they live in a court.
Yep.
Like someone had to literally. It wasn't like in a park, where they
Right.
could just get a mass amount of cars at one shot.
Right.
It was insane. But I just wanted to just mention. Thank you for letting me speak on
No, of course.
wax poetically about Bailey because we love her.
I
Part
do.
of the Steve Squared Show, and you had and I remember you had Honey.
I had Honey, and she was a good girl. And she was very sweet, and she was very traumatic the way she passed away. Also, it was just we didn't, she was having some issues, and they couldn't figure out what it was. I'm trying to think. It had to do with her liver, and I mean, she wasn't that old. I don't think, and
Yeah.
they kept her overnight, and she just died in her sleep overnight. It was just like really, really upsetting.
It's hard to have.
And she knew something was up too, because she's a little out of it, and she was like staring. They give you that look where they know something's up.
No, it's definitely hard, but I wanted to mention Bailey, and wait, and then you were gonna say when I cut you off,
Oh, speaking of the Yankees,
the Yankees, yes.
do you see what's open out in Port Jefferson Station?
No,
Mariano Rivera Honda.
that's right. I forgot he's opening up Honda dealerships now. Apparently, he didn't make enough with the Yankees.
well, in Mount Kisco-
well, his last deal didn't go well with Cashman, so now he's selling
Well,
Hondas in Port
Mount,
Jeff,
in Mount Kisco,
which they love their Hondas, by the way.
in
Port
Mount
Jeff.
Kisco, you have
Huge Honda population out there.
You have Mariano Rivera Toyota, but at Port Jefferson, you have Mario Rivera Honda.
Wait, they have what?
It's Mariano Rivera Honda in Port Jefferson. In Mount Kisco, it's Toyota.
But both Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, they're both-
I think,
yeah,
I think you
yeah.
said the name wrong.
Yes.
And
Mariano.
actually in Wantor, the Wantor Mazda is Luis Severino. You
Oh,
know,
really?
He does that commercial.
Oh,
I
but
don't think he doesn't
he
own
does the
it.
commercial.
No, it's not a Luis Severino.
You know-
Mazda dealership. All the Yankees are getting car dealerships now all over Long Island.
I really do need a new car. Steve, do you think you go out with me and see if we can meet Mariano and you tell him?
and he'll close you.
Tell
You got to
him-
bring the closer. They play the music. Enter the Sandman comes in. And he
Maybe,
goes,
you
look,
know-
I'll throw the massive for you. Okay. It's a deal.
Because I just saw an ad here, and he's just talking about free car wash, and he's literally like,
You know what we were talking about? You guys probably know about this. Both people in the arts. You're a thespian, and I guess now you're a lesbian. So
I'm fine with
and
that.
a beautiful one at that.
beautiful,
Be
Tony.
proud.
Fantastic. What'd you think of this Alec Baldwin getting? You agree? Yes, no. You agree with what's happening? Disagree? Like Steve, any thoughts on the getting charged like this for?
I mean,
manslaughter.
should he have some responsibility on this? Possibly. He was a producer.
But I
But
get-
once
yeah.
again, yeah, it is, he didn't put the bullets in. The question is, how did a live bullet get on set? I mean, on a live set, that's just very, very bizarre.
But this is also not
And-
1983. Why are they even using with
There should
everything
be
they could technologically
in CGI.
digital when they could CGI? Why would you even need that?
the one, I mean,
You
CGI,
could do that in post, in
CGI,
5 minutes.
CGI may not be perfect, but for something as small like a bullet like that, it would look fine.
I know it's.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he really deserves it. I think Alex's mistake was he talked too much after this thing happened. He did podcasts. He went on with George Stephanopoulos. That was his main problem. And the main other problem is he's Alec Baldwin, and
I think that's why they're
and
doing
half of the
this.
country
Right.
does not like Alec Baldwin, especially the Middle West, the Midwest. Where, they look at him as some Hollywood, above it all.
Right.
And and it's good. And this district attorney saw a chance, to make herself a star. Look, I can't go wrong. I'll get voted in
Right.
immediately because I'm a hero because I'm bringing Hollywood down. This
Yes,
big
exactly.
ego. But I mean, seriously, I good question. I don't know.
No, but I think that's
my thought.
I'm the same way. I feel like there is responsibility and there is checks and balances, and why is that there? But yeah, this is an opportunity for this woman to kind of get some TV time, 5 minutes of fame, type of thing like that.
So she gets national fame.
But I mean, Tony, if somebody, sorry, Tony, to wake you up, Tony, you go back to sleep. But if say he gets convicted, or something happens, what is that set precedent? What actor is going to want to be in an action film and be handed a machine gun and start blasting people? And look at like Quentin Tarantino's movies.
Yeah, but I think,
I mean, who knows what's real and fake? Do you think actors know?
well, you have people like George Clooney who spoke out against Alec Baldwin,
Oh, yeah?
saying, every movie I'm on, I make sure that it's checked in front of me. I think he did even say he checks it himself, which I disagree with because there's experts, or
Right,
there's
you
supposed to be
want-
experts
yes,
on
100%,
hand
100%.
that are supposed to be taking care of it. If he wants that done in front of him, that I agree with.
Right.
So that way and there's no discrepancies. I mean, supposedly there were a whole bunch of issues on the set of this movie. There was a lot of things that they were very lax
It was
on.
a cheap set. It was
Yeah.
a
Right.
It was
Right, definitely. Which is
very
not going
low
to help.
budget.
Which is not going to help them in the
very
trial.
low budget.
But that's what I would hope it would fix, just being lax like that.
Yes.
And not,
100%.
Like you said, I mean, that's why a lot. I think didn't they say it was like 500 rounds or 500 bullets or something?
Yeah.
There's, like you said, there's no reason for that.
There's
So,
none.
but that's all because they were lax.
Right.
So I do think it's he could be facing 5 years in prison.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is crazy, but at
Yes.
the same time, maybe it's justified as the producer. I mean, you a poor woman died.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, it's
So-
it's horrible, and that was let's see if how good Steve is or you guys with your trivia. Who else is very famous died on an actor on a movie set the same way?
Jason Lee,
That's right.
Oh, then you also have that other guy.
John Eric Hexum.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he was just playing with the gun.
Right.
Right.
Well,
Shits and giggles.
he pointed it to
And
himself.
and he just, my God, what a horrible way.
And I think that was actually, it wasn't a real bullet. It was still a blank, but he had it so
But-
close, the force.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, you're right. It was a blank.
It was a
And
blank, but he put it like
that-
on
but
his forehead.
They're dangerous.
Right.
Blanks can be dangerous.
Exactly. That's happened many a times. But the Jason Lee, he was doing The Crow.
Right.
And there was actually something from a previous blank or a piece of the shrapnel that came out with the blank and it killed him.
Really, I mean, seriously.
So
I'm
I'm
in this
shocked-
day and age, they're not even blanks. It's ridiculous.
It's not
ridiculous.
necessary. But I'm shocked that these crazy accidents don't happen more. I mean, right? When is the last time you heard of something like this?
Well, thankfully.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's pretty good because action films are getting more violent and more how many kills and things like that. So
Let this be a lesson to you when you're filming your dumbbells in your
Yes.
Jack LaLanne movie.
oh,
Yeah,
well,
but
I was
you-
thinking of
yeah.
I was thinking of hitting somebody over the skull with a dumbbell, but now I might go to a Nerf. I might have the whole set with Nerf dumbbells. You're right. This was I was thinking of using cast iron, blast people in the face. I'll do anything for a laugh.
Because we all know Jack LaLanne was a very violent man.
He was a very
Steve, can you just do a little dramatic reading of Jack?
A little Jack.
moment of Jack. Jack, tell us about your about your childhood. Were you always healthy like this? You're amazing.
It's amazing. What a face you have on there. You know what people don't? They don't smile anymore. Tony, let me tell you something. If you don't smile, you have no energy, and then you don't eat that white, refined, processed food. It's killing you. You just came in eating that bacon sandwich. Would you put sugar in the engine of a Maserati? I'm telling you, he's killing himself, Tony. He's murdering himself, and then he's blaming the industry.
Let me ask you.
You get out, you go for a walk.
But Jack, let me ask you. Did you ever have a nice bacon and egg sandwich
Never,
for breakfast or
never.
something?
I get up in the morning, I swim 600 miles across the Atlantic Ocean, I come out the other side, Tony, and I do 49,000 push-ups. Look at me. Punch me in the stomach.
Never even had a piece of candy?
Never.
Yes, you did. You got to tell the story about you growing up as a child.
Oh, sure.
Because you weren't always...
No, I had boils and bad
What did your mother-
complexion.
what did your
My
mother-
mother gave me a cheesecloth which was soaked in corn syrup. You see, this is what they had back then, Tony. I don't know if you know this, but we grew up on a farm, and I was a wild kid. I was rambunctious. I actually tried to murder my brother. It's a true story. I put a hatchet to his head. I was crazy. And then I was saved. And that'll be in my book coming out in Barnes & Nobles.
There's a little bit of Regis in that.
That is.
Yeah,
a little bit
there's
of
a
Regis.
lot of
Yeah, I
Regis.
went to
Yeah.
Regis.
Hey,
Speaking of Regis, Sally Struthers is going to be at the Gateway.
Really?
Look at that.
What's she doing? Let's see how Sally's looking.
Clue. She's going to be in Clue.
Oh, Clue.
Sally Struthers. And she just finished Young Frankenstein.
Where was that?
That was in California.
Okay.
And let's see, what part do you think she was playing in Young? You both know Young
I'm going to
Frankenstein.
say Frau Blucher. Stay close to this.
She wasn't singing "Putting on the Ritz."
What? Oh
This
no,
is-
she was she was Igor. She is the female Igor. It's Igor.
Listen to me very carefully.
Listen to me very
Put
carefully.
the candle
Can we play the Mariano?
what do you wanna play?
Mariano Rivera.
Can we?
Uh,
I
well,
wouldn't.
no, we won't. We won't.
Let's try not to play
No,
anything.
it's all right. We won't.
Yes,
Okay.
'cause
Tony just gave you the
Yeah.
list.
if you want to, if you want to just put your phone, hold your phone up and have the speaker play on the mic, then I think the algorithms would be different. I think you'd be safe, but I mean, but that's a little.
Yeah, don't worry about
that's
it.
a little prehistoric. But
it's prehistoric and not necessary.
I know. I'm sorry.
What do you
Steve.
think of? What do you think of these?
The Muppet? Are you doing a Muppets here?
Look at this. What do you think of this? Okay, so I got mittens for Christmas, and they dual as.
What's his flap here? What's his thing?
I'm gonna show you. It goes. You go over the top. You think you have. Well, first of all, they're first gloves without fingers, which was one of my favorite bands back in the '80s. Gloves without fingers. Oh boy, I used to see them in the Giggle Room. Fantastic. What a band. More punk grunge, but they were
We
fantastic.
can glove if we want to.
Then you put it on. You get yourself a mitten.
Look at. Oh.
See that?
Look at that. That's
Great for-
very nice.
I got that for Christmas.
Oh, you gonna keep it?
Yeah. What?
You gonna keep it?
Sure. Well, it was a Christmas gift.
I
My
guess
brother.
you are.
I took the tags off.
Tags off.
Yeah, the tags off.
There you go.
Steve, when I take tags off, it means that's big time. That means I'm keeping it.
But is it warm?
Oh, these are great feelers.
Oh yeah.
These are good. These are nice.
Wow, very nice.
Very good. How were your holidays, Tony?
my holidays are good, thanks.
I mean, I know we're asking. It's already. It's almost Valentine's Day.
And I had to think about it. I don't remember.
Tony doesn't remember. He's like, "What year?" Now, do you know what today's date is?
1/23/23.
Right. Isn't that pot smoking day? No, that's glad the wrong day.
420.
That's every day for you.
Oh, okay. That's I'm thinking of 420, but this is 1/23/23.
Yes.
And what's the significance of that?
1/23/23. We say 23 twice.
I don't know. Is that no? I was asking if is there a significance?
Oh, is it? So I say we say 23 twice. That's significant.
23 skidoo?
Could be that.
You know, I've been very. Here's a good trivia for you, and I just found you guys are baseball people, and you'll like this actor, and maybe. Well, I gave it away now, but
Oh, sure.
one of my favorite actors, Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
I did not, and you probably knew this. Do you know who his dad was?
Yes.
Yeah.
You both knew this?
Are you kidding?
Yes.
I did not know it.
The biggest baseball fan I know. You
I just
didn't know
found this
that
out
Bart
from my
Giamatti is.
No, my
his
brother-in-law
dad.
just told me this yesterday.
Wow.
I never put
That
two
is
and two.
crazy. I can't. You know
I
what?
never put two and two together.
Yes.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
That's
A.
his dad.
Bartley Giamatti was his dad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, once in a while, if you look at some old clips, like of him at a game or something, you'll see Paul sitting behind him or next to him.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing because he was pretty young when he passed away.
I'm fairly young. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was.
How young?
He was in his 50s.
He was?
He had
Oh no,
look it up.
he was.
No, double check A. Bartlett Giamatti. I almost think he was in his 50s. I want to say that, but I mean, don't quote me. But double check when he passed away because it was like he just took over as commissioner, and then he did the Pete Rose thing, where he banned Pete Rose.
Right.
Yeah, he was fairly young. He was 51.
Right.
Come on, really?
Yeah, he was 51. Yeah, the fact is he didn't look 51. He looked
Right,
like
he looked like
He looked at least 10 years
He
older.
looked like
Right.
a cigarette smoker. He
Yeah.
looked like
Wow.
a heavy cigarette smoker. But I believe that was a sudden death. No one,
Right. Right. Well, he wasn't commissioner very long.
No, he wasn't. He's like the Pope John Paul of Major League Baseball.
I like when you put religion and baseball together. Steve does that whenever an opportunity arises.
Yeah, he only did one season
One season, right?
as a commissioner, yeah.
And that
he
was his famous
and-
season that put.
And he's the one that Pete Rose curses at all the time.
He
because
put
he's the
him
one
in
that-
Pete Rose jail.
Is that Pete Rose,
Pete Rose
Dorman?
Yeah, heavy smoker, died of a heart attack at age 51.
Yeah, you
Wow.
could
8 days after banishing Pete Rose? Wow.
See that? I
I
would
didn't know that.
investigate. I think
Yeah.
Pete put out something to hit on.
If I was Pete, I'd be like, come on, it's only been 8 days. It doesn't count.
It's what's this? There's no statue on this. The paperwork is not even dry. The ink's not even dry on this.
Wow.
Put me back in the hall, baby.
God, that's just
Terrible. It's unbelievable.
it stinks.
Hey, you know that guy? I didn't even know this. Speaking of stuff, I was shocked to find this out. You know the hubbub. Speaking of politics, and we don't like to get too political.
No,
here,
we don't.
But let's try. George Santos, that George Santos guy. You know that you've heard of this guy,
Yes.
right? He's all over the place.
No.
So I found out a few other things that he didn't do.
Oh, is that so?
Well, actually, that he did do. I didn't
Okay.
even know this. He was the third man to walk on the moon.
I did not know that.
Did you know that? It's on his resume.
And the first to walk on Saturn.
That is true too.
Yeah.
I
On
didn't
the
even know-
rings. He
on the
actually
rings.
Right.
On the rings.
On the rings.
On
Speaking
the
of,
rings.
he also won an Oscar in Good Will Hunting.
Who did he play?
He was the other guy that was Ben Affleck's. He was one of the Bostonians. Bostonians.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
got
he
it.
talked like that, yard, in the park.
I thought he played the girl, the female.
No, that was not lived. Who was
Mini
it?
Driver.
Mini,
Mini
thank
Driver.
you. Look at these guys. And finally, he won back in I think it was '84. He won a gold medal in the men's downhill freestyle in Quebec. Fantastic.
Many years ago,
I see why I didn't get the script today. Thank you.
Many years ago, he performed here and gave Eddie Murphy all of his.
Is that right?
All of his
Yeah,
material.
In the giggle room.
Yeah,
He
in the
gave
giggle room.
Eddie all his.
My
material.
dream, and I have many, and they usually turn into nightmares. But my dream is to one day have you introduce me, ladies and gentlemen, live from the giggle room. Funny man,
Funny Man
Stevie
Stevie
K. If that happens once, I would drop. I would be content. Now,
The giggle room.
what is the giggle room exactly?
The giggle room is, well, here at Governor's Comedy Club, you got the main stage. You also have another smaller area called the giggle room. It seats about 90 people.
Wow, that's
It's a really nice room. It's actually more like a traditional comedy club,
Right.
Because the big room holds, I think it's 350,
Wow.
which is
Wow.
big for a comedy club.
that is big.
So a lot of people actually prefer the giggle room. So it's a nice little space, but anybody can produce a show there. Like they rent it out to producers and bookers all the time. So
Is that right?
So Steve Squared presents and have a night of comedy, and then we'll
Jack LaLanne. There you go.
A night of Jack.
a night of Jack.
And we can call it Get Jacked. Get Jacked. Well,
And a comedy club, that's got a completely different meaning. though.
You could go out and test the body fat on the
on the audience.
members
and
of the audience.
you know what? And it's just
What
like,
are you doing with that?
and I could order that blue
What are you doing with
leotard.
those cheese fries?
he
That's
wore-
disgusting.
That's they're killing yourself for God's sake. He wore that blue leotard suit, which I enjoyed. You know, because Jack would be on your TV every morning with that blue leotard, and
Right.
and he had the two dogs, right? And he had that beautiful leotard, happy and peppy,
Bursting with love.
bursting with love. And
you
he
would-
wore these slippers. He said he never called them. He wore never wore sneakers. They didn't have sneakers back then, so he wore like
Capezios.
well, they weren't Capezios.
They were dance.
They were like
shoes,
dance shoes. Yeah,
They
they're ballet
were.
slippers. They were actually ballet slippers.
Ballet slippers.
Yeah,
Okay, I was
'cause-
close.
No, you were
Jazz
hands.
shoes.
Jazz
a
shoes.
little different from
jazz shoes.
Capezios. I
But
understand.
yeah, I don't even know what a Capezio is.
You know, if you could find an organist, you know, maybe well, if you did want to do that show, interesting.
And she'll be Mrs. Peacock. So if you want to see Sally Struthers again, we mulled over that a little, but she'll be at the Gateway. I might want to see her. She's 75 years old.
Yep.
And she'll be Mrs. Peacock in Clue. So that should be.
Are you sure that's not George Santos who's playing Mrs. Peacock?
No, he's playing opposite her. He's the
Miss Scarlet.
He's who are some of the people?
Miss
in Clue?
Scarlet
Miss
was
Scarlet.
the other, or maybe
declare.
Miss White, the maid.
That could be true too. Now here, I don't know. This is a show, and I don't know if you guys heard this. It's on TBS.
Okay,
Power Slap.
I've kind of heard about.
I think
it.
I told you
told
about
Is
it.
that
me
the
about it.
slapping contest?
Yes.
Yes, I've seen some clips.
Fantastic. It took all these years for finally put quality TV on.
Anger.
You keep your Casablanca,
Yep.
keep your Lawrence of Arabia's and your epic movies. You give me 20 minutes of two people smacking the shit out of each other. That's quality TV.
The second time we dropped the S bomb.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Is there
I
an
did it
S-bomb?
one-
Did you say that today?
I said
Yeah.
that and giggles by mistake.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, I see what you said.
Is that a rule you guys have? No, because it doesn't matter.
You
here.
know, it occurs,
I
but
know,
we try to keep it clean.
We try to keep
I
it
think
clean.
that's just.
But
yeah.
but Steve,
I have
Steve asked me-
I have a wide children's audience that love to
because
enjoy the
Steve
Steve
asked
Squared
me,
show. Yeah.
Steve asked me if is it all right if we curse it? Well, we're not radio. The
Right.
FCC is in.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things
Isn't-
who knows YouTube, right? If they found there was a show that had excessive language, would they?
It depends because you can there's settings on YouTube where you could mark it. You can set it up
Right,
where this
and
is not
say
for
it's
kids
adult, right.
under 16, stuff like that. So depends on your settings.
Right.
We do fair. We're fairly clean.
Oh,
actually.
well,
we
you
are
totally.
clean.
You never. I mean, once in a blue moon, I knew what I was. I thought it was okay. I knew it was okay. Oh,
I think maybe Larry Hankin may have dropped the word. I don't know. Did he? I don't know.
Larry? Well, he was on the phone. He couldn't even understand a thing he said. Remember that interview when I had Larry Hankin on? And
Yes.
he basically had started at 6:31 and he talked all the way till.
I love guests
7:29.
like that. You just sit back and
Oh,
let
he
them
was,
go.
I think I asked him one question and then he was good till
Perfect.
7:29.
Tony, you want to hear a funny Larry Hankin story? And
Yes,
back
I would love
this?
to.
Wasn't he
So-
Major Healy or Mr. What? Who was?
That's Larry
That's
Hagman.
Larry
Oh.
Hagman. Sorry.
I thought,
so-
he was in, I thought he was in I Dream of Jeannie.
I'm
He was-
trying to think. It was either it was out in L.A. They had one of these these big shows, these autograph shows where you pay a fee to get in, and then they have all these stars of yesteryear, and you pay them, and you could get an autograph and take their pictures. So this one guy went in, he got some autographs, whatever, but he was taking pictures also, stealing pictures, so to speak, because and everyone was fine with it. Except for Larry Hankin. And then he took a picture of Larry and did this. He had his face covered his face with his
because he
hand.
wasn't getting paid.
Because he wasn't getting paid.
Of course
That's
not.
hilarious.
You know, it's sad but true because a lot of these actors that were working at, they have to go to these things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
do these things, and it's like,
Yep.
Steve, I noticed you're wearing Hollister.
Yes.
So-
I have a Hollister jacket,
Yeah,
too.
and look at this. This is
I
not
like
by coincidence.
I saw that.
This is from my sister. Look at this. This is Hollister right
That's a
down the.
very nice jacket. Mine is just puffy and
Yours
warm.
is nice.
No, that's way cooler.
Look at this, and not only
I
that,
like
you
the
thought this was
colors.
enough Hollister. We both have Hollister.
Oh, let's go all the way.
I might as well go all in.
Look
I
at
got a
that.
Hollister hat. I'm gonna rep Hollister here. That's a proud new non-sponsor of the Steve
Seriously,
Squared
Steve.
Show.
Seriously,
It's
Steve.
another non-sponsor. I've contacted them. They haven't returned my calls.
What is Puma?
What do you matter?
Who needs Puma?
You don't need Puma.
Hollister's.
Hollister's the new Puma.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to the Knick game tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you better-
I'm gonna see them.
better hide
Lose,
your
I'm gonna
face.
see them lose their fifth in a row. I'm excited.
Is
You
it
better,
fifth? Oh,
you better hide,
goodness.
you better hide your face.
Why?
Oh, have you ticked off Jim Dolan lately?
Oh, that is true. They have the face detector
Yes,
now
the
at the
face
garden. So when you go in, right, that woman
Yeah.
was escorted out of the garden.
It's all of a sudden Jimmy Dolan has Nixon's enemies list now. It's
Say that again.
all of a sudden now Jim Dolan has got like Nixon's enemies list.
Feels like Is this? Can you hear this? Is
Yeah,
this
you're
cool?
you're
Oh,
working.
I can hear you.
Maybe
mean,
your own. Check your volume on your underneath, right there, right
Oh,
there.
there you go. Oh,
No, you're all the way
doing
up.
pretty good.
No.
I think I have too many hats on.
I mean, we
Can't
hear you
anything.
fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Wow.
Uncover your ears from your hat.
I know. It just keeps me warmer. There you go. Oh, yeah, that's better.
Yeah, much
Steve.
better. You look good. Look good.
Thanks.
Nice toque.
Nice. Did you call that a toque?
Toque.
I don't know what that means. Is that a hat?
It's like a Canadian term for the hat. Like
Well, I'm sorry. The
in
show's
Great
not
White-
set in Canada.
in the
Are
Great
we now
White
in
North.
Canada? Why, Steve's telling me like I should know Canadian
Like
terms.
Bob and Doug McKenzie in the Great White North on Second City. That's a toque, eh?
Duke, eh?
Toque. A toque, eh? Take off your hose head.
Is that a Canadian accent or is that Aussie? Or is that Second City, Chicago?
That's good
So power slap. So I thought we do that here at the Giggle Room.
Great
Like-
idea.
Like a more live version of power slap. Me and you will start. We'll go slap for slap in the face.
We should get our friends to do it.
Now,
Our
this
old
is not,
friends,
this
they
is-
would love to do it. We
but
know two or
this-
three
this
guys
is
that would
crazy.
love
They
to
have
do
a
this.
women's division, a
Yeah.
men's division. It's ranked, by
Yep.
ranking weight class.
Yep.
Dana White's doing this. The
Yes.
guy from the
UFC guy. Yeah.
The MMC.
The guy who just beat his wife,
Slapped
in
his wife,
Mexico.
yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
they're the first two that are going to be on.
That's where the idea came from. He slapped her. He's like, oh.
He's like, this would be great. This is a show. It just shows you everything's a show.
It is.
And they'll probably get a big audience, I'm sure.
Oh, I think so.
People who wouldn't want to see people slap each other. And I think the goal is you got to see how long you get it to recover. If you can't recover in time, you get 10 seconds or something to
Right.
get back on your line.
Wow.
And then you get, and they slap hard. If you ever, I watched
I've watched little bits and
yeah,
pieces.
like I saw a clip. Somebody gets smacked, open hand.
What's the prize for this?
And actually, the Will Smith will be hosting the show. He's going to be he'll be, thank you.
that was
Actually, I got to give that joke.
ad-lib, very good.
No,
Oh,
I didn't
bravo.
put that in, but I feel bad because I got to give that joke where the joke is due. I stole that from my sister. She said that last night. She said that to
It's
me.
actually a good idea. That could be Chris Rock's revenge. Let them be the first ones at it.
Right? Somebody should be on top of that because that's got huge money there.
Gold, Jerry.
It's gold. The slap heard around the world. Do you watch Shark Tank?
Yes.
I really like. I started really watching a lot of Shark Tank. Do you ever watch Shark Tank? So they come in with these ideas. You see, explain how it works. They come in with these ideas. Right. Okay. So the sharks. Actually, the new season, Kevin Hart's going to be a shark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going to be on the new season,
Well,
which
he's,
starts.
he's got a lot of businesses working.
So
He's a smart guy.
he is. He's very, he'll be good on it. And so I was watching the other night, and this woman brought in, she had an idea for, it's called goat yoga. And what you do is it's yoga classes, but a baby goat is put on top of you to relax you. It's supposed to be the sensory thing. So they actually put a goat, which would be perfect for where you guys are. You could get in on this. At Hee Haw Willie's or whatever. Which,
Oh, Willie's.
right? But that's what I was thinking of. But so they're trying to pitch this idea. So Mr. Wonderful goes, it reminds me, he goes, of something. He goes, that's it. Goat is wonderful barbecued. He goes, with barbecue sauce, I'm out. And he goes, I'm out. He goes, it's delicious with bed of rice. He goes, I'm out. And they were in horror. These organic, natural
Yes.
women, barefoot with their goats. And he goes, it's delicious on a
Kevin
spit,
is never
basted.
Kevin is never one to mince words. You know.
So it was very funny. So, but I have an idea that I would like to bring on to Shark
Is that
Tank.
so?
Yeah. It's called the toast scraper. So say you burn a piece of toast, right? The toast is burnt. Instead of wasting another piece of bread, I've come out with the toast scraper, and it gets to you set it, and it'll tell you how many scrapes to get what color toast you want. right? So say you want it dark, but it's been too dark. It'll tell you 3 scrapes will get you to the hue of the toast that you want. I'm seeking $4 billion for a 1% interest in my toast scraper. What do you think? Are you in?
I could just take a knife and scrape it until it looks good.
You're out.
Don't even ask me.
All right. The toast scraper. No? All right. I'm done with both of you. I'm done. You two talk till 7:30. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Tony, play that music again for the next 22 minutes. Do you have a drop or something? We used to have drops. Oh, I like that.
And we're back on the fan.
What a giant game.
Iron Staten Island, you're on the fan.
Yeah, I got a problem. I don't understand. Big Blue, they didn't nothing against Philly. I'm embarrassed. I can't be a Giant fan. Don't get me started. Jones, nothing.
Did you hear that Mike and the Mad Dog are going to be on First Take?
Oh no, I didn't.
They're going to go on to First Take.
Yeah.
As a test basis. They may actually be making more appearances on First Take.
That's I like the two of them. Do you watch? Are you football at all? Did you watch? Are you Giants, Jets? Do you care?
I'm Giants.
You're Giants. Were you? What was it? Just a matter of the two teams being just not on the same page? Like the Giants just not on the level of Philly, or did they play bad? Or was it just you didn't expect them to?
A little bit of both. Yeah, I don't know. I think they got. I mean, it was a good season. I don't know if anybody expected them to go
this far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that was a good win against Minnesota.
Yeah.
To go
Yes,
up there and
that
beat
was
the
a very good
Vikings.
win
I think
because I
that's-
really thought that Minnesota would
Yeah, that's a good
come
team.
from behind like they did with the Jets and a whole bunch of other teams.
Yes, no, it was a good win for them. And so no, they had a pretty, I guess, satisfying.
I
mean, they're one win away
sat
from
with it the first quarter and I just said, you know what, I just have a bad feeling. And I would revisit it online and said, I was right. I did have a bad feeling.
Well, I mean, they couldn't stop
it
in one
was a-
play. I mean,
38. Ugh.
38. But
I mean, I didn't expect them to win.
nah,
I really didn't.
I was hoping because plus
Philly
Philly,
is a
I really don't
good
like.
team.
Yeah,
Philly
I just
is a
don't
good
like
team.
Philly.
I know.
Ever since
nobody-
Silver Linings Playbook, I've had a problem.
Well,
with
I
it.
like Silver Linings Playbook, but yeah.
I'm kidding. But now I'm worried because I was Nick's hopeful, but Robinson's why they're losing all these games. Robinson's out with a broken thumb,
Right.
so that's not going to be
I was
good.
going to wear the Nick.
Oh, I should have did that.
My Nick toque today.
Nick Tuca.
Yeah, my toque.
So we're going.
sorry,
I don't. We got pretty good seats. We're going to be seated on one side of the court up, but we're the first row.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like we're not going to be sitting with Michael Douglas or like Tracy Morgan.
Right. You're not going up.
We're not sitting with Spike Lee.
You're not on the floor
No, we're not on the floor.
with Tom Brokaw or Spike or
Spike or any of those people.
Yep.
How close did you? What was the best seat you ever had to a sporting event?
Yankee Stadium. I was about 3 rows behind home plate.
That's nice.
The company I worked for, the boss had season tickets, and we went. And sitting behind us was Lorne Michaels
Of course.
and Phil Hartman.
Wow.
Yep.
I think you told me that. I think
Yeah,
I
I did.
remember you
I
telling me
did.
that story. That's pretty good. What about you, Tony? Did you ever have a real good?
For the Mets, I've sat right behind home plate a few times.
Mm-hmm.
I've been fortunate, but actually, the best for me was it 2012 when at Citi Field in left field they have that the party deck, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It's,
Something like that. Yeah.
It was the home opener. So yeah, it was 2012. So I was there for the first game to sit on that deck, and yeah, it was 2012. Gary Carter died a couple of months prior. So it's the very first game of the season, and I'm standing there and just kind of leaning on the railing, and normally they're not. I mean, they're good seats. It's left field, but so you don't think they're special, but sitting there and they're doing all the pregame stuff. I look to my right, and here comes Gary Carter's family, right? And they're walking down the warning track, and they stop right in front of me. I'm like, oh, and I said to myself, I'm not moving. This is. Sure enough, it was right there that they did the unveiling, and they had the thing that the thing for Gary Carter that stayed there on the wall for the whole season. It was a windy day, and the thing that was draping over it was starting to come loose. So I actually was holding it until they let go. And then the Daily News the next day had a full-page picture of Gary Carter's family in front of this thing, and you see me standing over him like this.
That's crazy.
I look like Rocky.
Did you get that framed?
Of course. Of course I did.
That's a great keeper.
So that's
a nice moment.
That's my favorite scene.
That is definitely worth a beautiful. I had some behind the dugout. Years ago I had a good seat at a Yankee game.
I had a couple of good seats at Dodger Stadium.
Right.
In the old days, before they redid the seating, there used to be this special box, so I guess like a celebrity box, and it was actually below level behind home plate, and I guess they did that for celebrities or whatever. I sat there once, and that was kind of cool, but it was hard to see the game. But they got rid of that because obviously it was hard to see. Another time, we knew someone whose father was a big political guy in the city, and we got the mayor's box at Dodger Stadium, which that was pretty cool.
Yeah. At Dodger Stadium?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah, those are I was trying to think. The baseball games there's more of a chance because there's more home games. It's not basketball's hard because there's only 40 games at the Garden and they're always sold out and it's very expensive and it's unless you have some corporate seats or some.
Two other good ones. Okay, so I won tickets at Citi Field through some promotion with Verizon, and we got to sit in a luxury box, one of those boxes, maybe not a luxury box,
right,
for a game, and you had like catered, and it was really nice. And another time in LA, someone gave me their tickets. So he used to live in New York, and he was, he didn't use the tickets, so we were right behind the visitors box at a Kings game, which was that night the Rangers.
That's pretty. Now you just made me think and remember when I was a kid. So my dad's a retired electrician.
Right.
A retired electrician, but he was with Local 3, and so he knew all the guys at Yankee Stadium when he was working, and they brought us up to Eddie Layton where he was playing the organ.
Right.
And to that was pretty cool. We saw him like with the organ and
That's
stuff like that.
cool.
There's a thing on Instagram with the new guy that's playing, and he's playing. You saw that? Maybe I sent it to you, but he's playing, and he goes. And he's being interviewed, and the guy's like, did you ever think, because he's a music concerto guy?
Oh, I think I've seen that.
You've seen that, and he's like, people usually think it's just a recording or
Right.
something, because most places have that. He goes, and it was cool. You saw the whole playlist and how it was for the Knick game.
That's
he was
really
doing
cool.
the thing.
So yeah, this season they had Knicks night at Citi Field in September, which I went to.
Knicks night.
Yes, and they had the Knicks organist playing the organ
Oh,
at the
that's
game.
cool. Oh, for the game, yeah.
Which you never hear an organ at the
Right.
game. It'd be nice if they
Do they
brought
do?
back the organ.
Do the Mets do? Or they have a soundtrack?
They usually they have a soundtrack. They don't usually have an organ.
Right. They
so
don't
that
have
was
the
really special.
I think the Yanks and the Garden are the last. I mean,
in New York and the Rangers.
Well, because
Rangers
it's the
still have
Garden.
organ.
Yeah, because it's the Garden. The guy does all the Garden
right.
events.
But there's some. I've
That's
seen
a cool
some stuff
gig to get
online
that,
too.
right? Imagine being the organs for like the Garden events.
Well,
like
here on Tuesday nights here we have Hershey and the Keegs every Tuesday at 9. 2 or 3 weeks ago they talked to the guy that does the in-house announcements at Citi Field. Now batting.
Oh,
Colin Cosell.
I was just about to say that.
Howard
He's
Cosell's grandson.
right.
that's great. So he does the he's the public
And he-
address announcer.
Yeah.
He's the PA announcer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he also does the at the Coliseum, the indoor lacrosse. He does that as well.
Yeah.
Are they still doing that?
Yeah, they brought it back last 2-3 years ago. They brought it back.
What's that team's name?
It's the Riptide.
The
They
Riptide.
and then before that, I think it only lasted 1 year. They had the Knights,
the
but
Lizards.
then
Were they ever? Or was that soccer?
That was
I'm
soccer,
thinking
I
of
think.
some indoor soccer.
they had the Saints back in
Yes.
back in the 80s and 90s.
Boy, lacrosse is trying to. They just can't sell it. Just can't sell it.
No, they can't.
Well, how many teams could there be? Like in the league?
I know.
And where are you traveling to play lacrosse teams?
Northeast and
Right, you'd have
the Ivy League.
That's what I forgot to mention. A good thing I wrote it down. Two things. Actually, this guy wanted me to mention this at the library. You know how much I spend a lot of time at the.
You got a lot of good friends over there.
I have a lot of good friends, and one of them, the custodial guy. I don't want to. He took time away from his custodial duty.
He looked at us at the library the other night. He was ready to put us in the room. You could go now.
Yeah. So I have a lot of connections at libraries. If you ever need some fines removed.
Oh, good to know.
My sister will take care of that.
All right.
She's watching now. She's probably like, stop. But the guy, that guy, belongs to the Metal Detector Club. It's a metal detector club.
Oh, really?
So it's called the Atlantic Treasure Metal Club, and they're looking for members. Their membership has gone down. Surprise, surprise. I guess all the metal's been found all over Long Island.
My stepbrother does it all the time.
Yeah, so there's a club.
Yep.
So there you go. He says how much do you think one of these metal detectors go for? Like a metal detector machine?
Like a good one?
Yeah.
I don't know, $500? I have no
Yeah,
idea.
they could go all the way to 2,000.
Really?
Wow.
Crazy.
Do you make that money back?
Probably not. No, I wouldn't
I
assume
think they
so.
hope to, right?
I guess that some do it for cathartic reasons. They at the beach. They just like
you
to
find some historical things also that
He said one of the guys in the club found an engagement ring, and they found out and they priced to see how much it was worth. $25,000.
Really?
And the guy felt it had an inscription on it, and they put it up on Facebook, and the person they knew through somebody else that was on that Facebook group, and they got it back to the owner.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, that's
it was just
cool.
in the beach, and I would have hawked it for the $25K.
Me
sure
too.
you would.
Are you
Good
crazy?
man.
What?
Good man.
Yeah. Beach. You leave it at the beach. You probably didn't love the person anyway.
Why are you
Right.
wearing that thing? Why are you wearing that
divorced.
rock in the middle of the
Right.
beach?
Why would you take
Right.
a $25,000 thing to the
Right.
beach?
Get one of those rubber ones if you want to make sure that everybody knows you're married,
That's
Exactly.
that's a lesson in love.
Yeah.
So we did politics and love today. We don't usually get into those heavy subjects.
No, we haven't. Are we doing our little
What do you want?
Oh,
Oh, the spelling bee. I forgot to quit. Wait.
oh, there's a
we'll do
spelling
this.
bee?
Yeah, I
Oh.
forgot. Netflix is showing the spelling bee.
Oh, okay.
So there's a whole thing about, and they follow 4 kids' trials and tribulations getting ready for the script spelling bee. So I thought Steve Squared should get in on this and have our first annual spell off. So Tony, it's perfect that you're here. I'm going to give Tony the first word. No, I don't know anything.
You're going to love this because
Steve blasted
I'm
me.
going to lose. I actually will lose.
Are you a good speller?
No, I'm a terrible speller.
All right, hold on one second. I'm going to give you a spelling word.
Horrendous.
Okay, you ready? Here we go. All right, Tony goes first. Annoying. Annoying.
Seriously?
Annoying. No, not seriously. Annoying.
TONYWALKER.
You are correct. Now to Steve. Are you ready? Don't look it up on your phone.
I'm not.
It's already
cheating.
It's already cheating going on.
Disqualified.
This Steve Squared spell off is, I believe it's going to be the first and last one. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Don't look it up.
Hey, Siri.
Okay, there's no help from Siri.
That's a word?
It's in the Steve Squared spell off. It is. All right. Would you like to go for the next word?
It's going to take
All right,
us
we're going.
10
All right,
minutes.
all right. No time for this. Fine, you're done. Broccoli. Broccoli.
BROCCOLI.
Wow, Tony, you're right. That's a hard word, broccoli or broccoli. Steve, you ready?
Yes.
There's your next word, Steve. Put
Yes.
Siri away.
Okay.
Suzanne Plachette. Would you like me to put her in a sentence?
EMILY HARTLEY. Emily Hartley.
Okay. Fine. Now to Tony.
Good one.
Try.
Goo Goo Muck.
What?
Goo Goo Muck.
Goo Goo Muck?
Yeah,
This
that's
is Steve's obsession.
that's
right
my new
now.
favorite band.
Goo Goo Muck.
Well, it's actually that's not the band. The Cramps is the band.
Yes.
Goo Goo Muck is the song.
Goo Goo Muck is the song.
Yeah, you got to listen. It was on the series Wednesday, the Addams Family new series Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So they do the Goo Goo Muck dance. So it's a
Goo Goo Muck.
Yeah, go for it.
GOOGOOMUCK.
What? Are you a good speller?
Yes. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Fucking A. Oh, sorry.
Tony,
Wow, there
Tony's
we
in charge
go.
of cleaning up the
All
show.
right,
Sorry.
rated R tonight.
Sorry.
Yeah. This
You
is
ready,
good.
Steve?
Yeah, let's go.
Timothy Chalamet.
T-I-M-O. I know.
All right. Or you could get the other word.
Charlemagne.
Chicken franchise. I give Steve 2 words spells. I give him sentences to spell.
C-H-I.
All right, fine.
C-K.
And thank you. That was the first. Do we have an applause, Tony? Can we applaud?
Actually, we do.
Yeah, give me an applause.
A very restrained crowd. Listen to that.
Oh, the Google room is packed tonight. Oh, you listen to Google Up?
The Google room or the Giggle room? Okay, be careful.
Yeah.
Jail.
But the show's almost done there. Good, right?
Good song.
It's got a nice
That's
little...
an excellent song.
It's fun. It's like a fun... It's supposed to be, it was supposed to be a Halloween song. And then so that's why they used it for the show Wednesday. And then it took off because the girl does this kind of dance to it. And of course, people love seeing 19-year-old Hispanic girls dance on Netflix. Can I say that?
Is she that old?
Can I say that on the air?
Yes.
Netflix?
She's that old?
She's 20, actually. Oh. The strike is over. Tony, look at this. The city's back on schedule. The transit strike's over.
What's that?
55 years ago it ended.
1966. Thank
1966. So, yeah, my dad loves these retro papers. They come in Newsday. I know how Steve feels about Newsday. This is 1966.
Not when you get the retro news days.
You like those? Oh, here's the sports going on.
What's going on?
Plenty of cigar smoke in Reds 1,000 wins. I guess that's Red Auerbach. Are they talking about? They must be talking.
Possibly.
Something like that. And boy, they put college sports on the back page. Syracuse coach.
What date is that? What's the month?
Oh, this is. I think it's January. January 13th, 1966. So there's some politics in here. Let's see what I wanted to see. Oh, what's playing in the movies?
Okay.
So in Belmore, at the Belmore. Wow, the Belmore Playhouse was still there.
Yes, it was.
Wow, The Great Race.
Love that movie.
Did you ever see that movie?
I've seen it. I honestly don't remember it well.
The Great Race.
I saw it as a kid and I liked it. My dad maybe was one of those recommendations.
Were you?
He said you'll love it.
Were you alive at this point? I don't know.
1965 or 66. Yes, I was.
Okay.
But I saw it like when it was on television. My dad said you'll love it. It's like the Wacky Races, which is pretty much what it was like.
Cashmere sweaters. $6.99.
Wow.
$6.99. You get yourself a nice cashmere sweater.
We could go back to the future and spend and save some money there.
Matching wool skirts, $4.99.
Ooh.
Wow. Look at these people. You know it's old when they have a picture of somebody and they call him a baron. This guy's a baron. Do you know who this is? Who's the baron there?
Barclay Cook. Oh, Baron George Wrangel. The original Hathaway shirt model.
This is unbelievable. Bath King. You can get a whole toilet bowl for $17.99.
What?
Look at this.
Yeah.
White tank and bowl. Do you know how much it costs now? They came in with looking at my parents because they had a problem with their toilet bowl. They wanted like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It was like $10,000 now. $18. You get yourself a whole
That's insane.
thing. And they throw in the toilet paper for free.
Are there any ads for for a store that still exists today? Love to see you bring the ad in
Yes.
and say, "Look, it's here. It's here. I want to buy it for this price."
Uncle Ray's Corner. They have a little thing here.
Uncle Ray.
Uncle Ray was in the. But yeah, let me. Is there a store in here that's still? Well, the Belmore Playhouse. I can't believe is still. This is pretty racy. They have a guy here without a shirt on. It's men's swimwear.
Swiss cheesecake.
It's called Swiss cheesecake. That's hysterical. That's funny. That's unbelievable. Oh, look, there's a recipe in here for borscht. A 3-hour feast marks Russian Christmas. They're showing how to make borscht or poor man's caviar.
Eggplant or corn caviar.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Look at this. Look at this. This is really something here. The Sound of Music is playing. I don't know.
The Great Race?
The Great Race, the greatest story ever told.
Yes.
Right? You know,
Still from the holidays?
Thunderball.
Thunderball?
Thunderball. is amazing. Oh, and here Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon.
The
The
Great
Great
Race.
Race. Duh.
Steve McQueen, the Cincinnati Kid.
I never heard of that. Cincinnati Kid,
Sleeping Beauty coming back there.
Sleeping Beauty. Wow, this is and if you're interested, for very inexpensive on Broadway in Amityville, you can learn how to become a drafter. You can go to Island Drafting School,
No,
become an architect.
you never know.
That's
What's on television? You've got the TV listings.
wow.
down
Will
there.
Samantha become mother of witch or warlock tonight? So that on then?
Yes, it was.
What's that? Bewitched?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It was on in that. I thought that was more late '60s to '70.
No, it started like 64, 60. I think 64. It might have started.
God, she was hot.
65. Yes, she was beautiful.
Oh my God.
Elizabeth
Montgomery.
Elizabeth
Yes.
Montgomery. Yeah, they said they really when they picked her for the Bewitched. She
And that Aunt Clara. Ooh.
you were all over Aunt Clara.
Elizabeth Montgomery was a major slut in her time. That's I swear to
right?
God, I swear to you, that's the truth.
She had fun.
She got around.
I did. Wow, I didn't know that.
I wish I knew that. Not that I was alive.
I was going to say, did you have connections there?
No.
Okay.
Her father
And
was
you're
a big,
probably different age rate.
her father was a big movie star. Somewhat. Robert Montgomery.
Robert. That's her. Again, I don't know any of this
And
stuff.
if you could go on
So ridiculous.
YouTube, he had a show, Robert Montgomery Presents, done at 8H at NBC. Live drama.
And that's the news from 65 years ago.
Batman was in there too. Though,
And
so
yeah, we didn't get to see, but
didn't get to
they were
that.
blasting
Oh,
a
my
Batman.
God, it's 7
Because I had one. I know it goes by so fast, but there was the last thing. This I thought you'd get a kick out of, Steve. What movie or Tony? This was a little. This is a bit of a trivia. What movie was Ki Hee Kwan, who just won the Golden Globe for Everything and Anything at Once,
Right.
and Brendan Fraser, who just won for The Whale? What movie were they in together?
Debbie Does Dallas.
Close. Sounds like Elizabeth Montgomery did Dallas.
Yeah, true. Encino Man.
Were they both in? Yeah, they were
So
both
good.
in Encino Man.
Oh, I totally guessed.
So good.
I did know you once you
Wow.
said that because
Yep.
I
You got it.
I read something about that.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Jeez, I just
forgot.
went-
I didn't know he was in.
Yeah, it was
Encino
it was a
Man.
very small part.
Yeah.
He brings Brendan Fraser in his kind of dorky science club, and that's so. That was,
I just went through
You know what the
Brendan
funny-
Fraser movies in
Did
my
you-
head.
so
I-
good.
Did you see?
Tony's great.
What's his face? His entertainment lawyer is
Who's
the guy from Everything All at Once.
Ki Hee Kwan?
Yeah, is the kid
Short Round. We know him as Short Round.
Yeah, well, that was the other movie. That was
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom. But his entertainment attorney is the kid from Goonies.
You told me this.
Yes.
Not Jerry. The one that played one of the kids. Not. Oh my gosh. Not Verno. I forget. Who cares?
You know what I meant. But it's
I don't know what you meant, but who
either way,
cares?
it's kind of cool.
I do. It was one of the kids, right?
Yes.
In the Goonies. They keep. I love those movies. They just showed that the other day. But we're at that time, 7:30. By the way, the temperature is 71
Chunk.
degrees. Chunk.
Chunk is
Chunk.
Jeff Cohen. That's his.
Is it really
entertainment
71
attorney.
degrees in the studio?
Yes. I guess.
Lovely in here. It's beautiful. I love warm.
Do you want to know what is outside before we go away?
I'd rather not. I want to enjoy the warmth. I like to be surprised by the weather. I don't like to hear cold. I like the warm weather. So I'll let you guys know how the Nick game goes. Tony, great to see you. Thank you for spending time with us.
My pleasure. It was
Yeah,
good,
so
to,
it's great to
good
have
to
you.
see you guys.
Great to see you. Thanks, Steve, for jumping in.
35 degrees.
And it's 35 degrees. Well, that's a 40-degree drop from in here to out there.
And I'll tell you.
I better wear my Parker.
It's mighty cold out there.
It is going to be cold. And so thanks again for everybody watching out there in Stevie Land. We'll be next week, 6:30. Who knows where we'll be? I don't know. I don't think we'll be in here. We'll be somewhere. We might be in a parking lot. We might be remote somewhere. And who knows? We don't know. That's the surprise of the show. We never know where we'll be, but we'll be. So for all of us, and definitely Tony, your show is always daily. Is it daily?
It's every weekday except Wednesday.
Every weekday except Hump Day.
Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays.
There you
All
go.
right. You can catch Knock 'em Dead Comedy, right?
Thank you, pal. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you all next week, Monday, 6:30. Good night.
Good night.
I was going to say, play us out with that.
Yeah.